Hi, I'm Christina Warren, Senior Tech Analyst at Mashable, and this is the Galaxy S4. The Galaxy S4 is Samsung's latest smartphone, and it is one of the biggest smartphone releases of the first half of 2013. The physical size is very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now that makes a lot of sense. The Galaxy S3 is one of the most successful smartphones. It's right up there with the iPhone in terms of popularity. Samsung has made a lot of adjustments to this phone, and they've added a ton of features, both with the software and the hardware. A few standout features are some of the changes they've made to the overall user interface. So as you can see here, when I pull down my notifications bar, you see a remote control. That's because this has a built-in infrared port, and it can actually be used as a universal remote to control your TV. Now what's cool about this is that it doesn't have to be a Samsung TV. It can basically work with any television, receiver, or cable box. Basically, it's just one more reason why the smartphone is the device that we can carry with us every day to use in our lives, whether it's in the living room, the bedroom, for phone calls, for communication. You can kind of do everything with the phone. In addition to having the IR port, it also has NFC, so conceivably you can do mobile payments, although that's going to depend on what carrier supports what, different things with different banks and different things in different countries. Samsung is touting in a couple of other features having to deal with the sensors, notably Air View and Air Gesture. In apps such as Flipboard, when you hover your finger just above the screen, additional content preview. This works in all the official Samsung apps and other apps in the Samsung ecosystem. It's an interesting method of showing off additional information. It basically works because the capacitive sensor on the phone has been cranked up, and when that's enabled in compatible apps, just simply hovering over brings up more information. It's kind of cool. Air Gesture is basically what it sounds like. You're able to use gestures to do things with your phone. For instance, in the official web browser, you can swipe between tabs by simply swiping from side to side. You can also scroll up and down simply by using your finger. One of the biggest things with the Galaxy S4 is the camera. And I think this is really where the product shines and really comes together. It has a 13 megapixel camera on the back and a 2 megapixel camera on the front. On the top part of the screen, you've got a picture-in-picture mode, and the second screen can be displayed here. Again, it's a gimmick, but I could see how this could be useful. For instance, if you're trying to do video conferencing or trying to do a video, I could see that actually being really useful. All of these camera modes work with both video and still, and you can actually take still photos within the video as well. In addition to that, there are also some new camera modes that are pretty snazzy. There's something called Sound and Shot, which will create a picture and then let you record up to 8 seconds of sound afterwards. That will be appended to the image, and it will only play back kind of correctly on Galaxy S4 cameras or other Galaxy cameras that get a software upgrade, but other people will get a WAV file or an MP3 file or something that can play it back. There's also an option they're calling animated photo. Basically, this is Cinematograph, and it's similar to the app for iOS and Android. Basically lets you animate only one part of the video, of the image, and keep the rest of it still. And then the final output is actually a GIF file, so you can actually then embed that however you want. Samsung has a lot of other features too, including an optical reader that also includes a translator and works with S-Translate. So if you're holding up text written in another language, it'll translate the text. It will also work with business cards and lets you scan business card information and directly go to the contact book. There's a lot to like in the Samsung Galaxy S4, maybe a little bit too much. My only real criticism of the device is that because there are so many features baked in and there's so much to discover, I feel like Samsung might maybe overplay their hands. I would have rather seen the company focus on maybe 3 standout features rather than throwing, nearly a dozen things into the mix, so that those 3 things could all work really well and be really intuitive. Having said that, from a pure spec perspective, this is immediately going to be one of the most powerful smartphones on the market and will certainly contend nicely against the HTC One and any other phone out there. As we said, this is certainly going to be one of the big smartphones for the first half of 2013 and probably going into the rest of the year, and this is going to be the Android phone to beat. For Mashable, I'm Christina Warren.